Hey, Brian here. Glad you are riding along. Hopefully, we learn something together, or at least kill some time. I drive Huntington for work now, deliveries mostly. But I'll tell you something about this town, bud. Near about everything Huntington ever made me is strung along one single road. And I'm on it right now. This is US-60. You wouldn't know it to look at it, because it changes its name about a dozen times crossing this city. Out here, they call it Adams Avenue. Up by the campus, it's Fifth Avenue. Downtown, it runs one way as 3rd and 5th, but under every one of those names, it's the same old road, US-60. A lot of folks around here still call it by its older name, the Midland Trail, the main road across West Virginia back before the interstate ever came through. And my whole Huntington is hung on it like clothes on a line. Watch the left side up here. There, the green and white, the big M. That's Jones C. Edwards Stadium. That's Marshall. And I've got a complicated history with that field. First time I ever set foot in it, I was a kid, high school, marching in it. Tri-state marching festivals. We'd load the buses and come to Huntington and march on that field, and I did it more times than I can count. Went to games there over the years too, and later on, Marshall's the school that actually handed me a degree. But I'll be straight with you. My heart was never Marshall Green. I was a mountaineer. I spent 3 years up in Morgantown in the pride of West Virginia. That's the WVU marching band. At every home game during that first Rich Rodriguez era, back when that program was flat out electric. That's where my emotional wiring got laid down. Those Saturdays still get me. So I carry this funny split. Marshall gave me a degree, WVU just gave me experience. And here's the honest truth. If I'd have gotten to work more with Marshall's band while I was here, I think I'd have flipped. I'd have been a diehard. But loyalties get set early, out on a field somewhere, and they mostly stay set. So I roll past that stadium on this old road and I feel two things at once. That's Huntington for me. It won't let you have one simple feeling about anything. Stay on this same road a little further, where they call it Adams Avenue now, and watch the right. See that cookout? And right along there, that building with the checkerboard front and the old block letters? To you, that's a pizza buffet with a gambling parlor stuck to the side of it. And that's what it is now. But that building right there is where the West Virginia pizza biscuit got its start. The first real pizza this whole city ever had back around the early 60s. The fellow who started it went up to Ohio to learn how it was done, worked for free in somebody's shop till they trusted him with the recipes, and carried pizza home to Huntington. Before that building, this town didn't have it, and I spent years of my life working for that outfit, that kitchen, running a line. Which is how I come to know the story I'm about to tell you, because one of the old-timers told it to me himself. A man who'd been there since near about the first day the doors opened, who taught half the people that ever ran that place how to stretch a crust. He told it to me one afternoon while we sat waiting to pick up food for a funeral. An old man handing a young man a 50-year-old story in between funeral errands. Here's how it went. This was way back, before the health department, before anybody worried where things ended up. The way they got rid of the old fry grease was simple. You poured it in a 55-gallon drum, rolled it out to the street, and dumped it down the sewer. That's just how it was done. Well, one day it's pouring rain, and he's rolling one of those drums, 55 gallons of rancid old fry oil, out toward the drain right there in front of the place, and the barrel slips. 55 gallons of grease, all over this road, in the rain. So he leaves it laying there and runs inside to call the boss. And right as he steps in the door, here comes the city bus. One passenger on it, a little old lady sitting way in the back. That bus hits the grease slick and it spins, a full 180, and runs right up onto the sidewalk. Police come, bus driver comes. Everybody's asking what happened, and he looks them dead in the eye and tells them a truck came through, spilled grease out the back, and kept on going. And that was that. Nobody pushed it. That poor old lady, though, white as a ghost, shaking when it was all over. That's the story he handed me in a parking lot between funeral errands, and I always think about it. Because that's what you get working somewhere old. You don't just draw a paycheck. You get handed the ghosts. All the stories that happened on that ground long before you ever showed up. So when I roll past that building now in a delivery van and see it's a buffet and a slot parlor, I don't quite know what to feel. Something got started in there that mattered, and something about it just kept getting smaller. And somewhere along this same stretch is where I bought my first car, right here on the west side. A little 2006 Sebring. First car I ever bought myself at a dealership, my name on the paper. I was just starting grad school at Marshall, loved that it was mine, and hated near about everything else about it. You had to pull the whole front wheel off just to change the battery. That car cured me of ever wanting to work on a car again. But it got me to class, and it got me to work. And it was the first thing I ever really bought like a grown man. So look at what this one road is. US-60, the old Midland Trail. In a few minutes of driving it, I passed the stadium I marched in as a kid, the school that gave me my degree, the building where the job that shaped my 20s got its start, and the lot where I bought my first car. 4 chapters of a life, all hung on one old federal highway I now drive for a paycheck. That's the thing nobody tells you about the place you come up in. You don't get to visit it. You just live in it, and it piles up around you, layer on layer, until one day you're hauling somebody's package down a road you've driven your whole life, and you realize the whole map of who you were is still sitting right there out the window. Same road, same buildings, different you. I'm not from Huntington exactly, but I'm made of it as much as anywhere. And every time work sends me back up US-60, it hands me the whole thing all over again. The good, the complicated, and the parts I'm still working out how to feel about. That's my Huntington. Thanks for riding it with me. Thank you for riding with me. We are in this together. Keep going.